Our story intersects with Show Hope really from the get-go. Initially, we were adoptive parents. That was the way God built our family.
In our own family, we were experiencing challenges that come from having 3 kids, 3 and under, who all came from hard places and had some trauma history. And as we were searching out resources, Show Hope continued to point us to TBRI.
And I remember Kristen coming back from that very first TBRI training session at Fort Worth, and she was like, "We're doing it wrong."
Through the support of Show Hope, we really have been grateful to be part of a movement in the state of Louisiana to improve the quality of care that kids get.
It started for us as a group of loosely formed families in our church who were in that adoption space. Some families who had adopted internationally, some like us who had adopted domestically, and then others that were answering the call to foster children. And we became like just a support group for one another. And we said, to keep our families in the game, we're going to have to wrap around them and supply them with more tools and more resources. And why can't the church do that, right? Like, you look at the church and there is enough love and there is enough resources and there are enough families that we can meet this need. So we stood up an organization called Crossroads NOLA to do just that. The more need we saw, with some really severe abuse and neglect situations, the more we started saying, you know what, we need some more training. We need to train our families in TBRI. We need to train our families in bonding and attachment. We need to give our families the tools to make this work. And so we started diving into this space where we not only recruited families and supported them, but we trained and equipped them.
And each step of the way, as the vision has gotten bigger, Show Hope has been there to help us to dream about it and figure it out and make it happen.
The more we would step into the gap, the more we needed to fill it. And we would keep going back to Show Hope and say, you were kind and generous to give us 5 scholarships last year to have folks from Louisiana trained in TBRI. We're going to need 10 this year. And then when they would say yes to 10, we would ask for 15. And we just have continued to direct and point people to resources that treat children better, that allow placements in foster care to last longer, and that just really lift up and serve vulnerable families. The tip really came for me when the secretary of our Department of Children and Family Services would call me personally, and sometimes on the weekend and sometimes at night, with the hardest cases from our state, some of the most severe cases of abuse or neglect, and she would say, "I need a Crossroads family for this placement." When the state began to recognize that our families were different and that our families could handle really, really tough situations, and when the state began to seek us out for their hardest ones, I knew we were onto something.
And so I'm so thankful that we were challenged through Show Hope to do more, because it really has not just made our family better and impacted us, but it's really changing the state of Louisiana and the way Louisiana deals with children from hard places.
This space, the work is hard, and it's complicated, and it's messy, and it's difficult. And so the gift that Show Hope has provided our families, and it started, with our family proper, but then the families that we have recruited through Crossroads, and now all the different systems that we've partnered with. The gift that they've given them is a strategy that brings healing, and that brings connection and attachment, and that's what God built us for, right? And so through the generosity of Show Hope, we're able to extend that.